brand new, introduce you and your team and walk us through your budget.
Yes, thank you, Councilmember Shook. My name is John Flanagan, Commissioner for the Atlanta Department of Labor and Employment Services. To my left is Deputy Commissioner Sonia Wilson Westmoreland. She is in charge of our federal programs. To my immediate left is Deputy Commissioner Theresa Austin Givens, who oversees all of the mayor's signature programs. To my right, to my immediate right, is Ms. Humina Embry. She is our labor liaison officer, so she manages our labor awareness and education department. And then to my far right is Dr. Serena Walker. She is the Deputy Commissioner of Administration, so she makes all things go in relating to budget and things of the like.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so if you remembered last year, the org structure looked a little bit different. It was very, it had basically two positions on it. So you've seen over the past year, we've started to build out our department, have made some key hires, still have some key hires to make up, between now and July 1st. Really this year has been a capacity building year for the department. So we did want to highlight, obviously, the mayor's 4 pillars for ethical and responsible government. So we have those, and then we wanted to also kind of give council what we've done, some accomplishments this year, and a look ahead into what we plan to do next year. So the department increased outreach services to job seekers and employers by 15% year over year through new programs, such as labor services and internal and external department partnerships to include on critical populations such as those impacted by homelessness, disconnected youth, and returning citizens from incarceration. The department added additional revenues of approximately $950,000 this year through federal, state, and local philanthropic partnerships to address special populations listed above, most notably partnerships with the U.S. Department of Labor and the Annie Casey Foundation. The department assisted more than 120 employers in finding talent through targeted industry hiring events, directly resulting in more than 400 direct hires. This includes 65 hires through a partnership with Walmart and the staffing of their reopened Vine City neighborhood Walmart neighborhood market. One of the mayor's signature programs is the Summer Youth Employment Program. We assisted more than 5,300 youth enter employment during that time. The department has created new community access points at Westside Works, in addition to providing on-demand services for those impacted by homelessness in partnership with the Melody Rapid Housing Development. And we've completed transition process of incorporating WorkSource Atlanta, which is the federally recognized workforce development board and system for the city of Atlanta, into the Atlanta Department of Labor and Employment Services. And the department was the recipient of a federal program audit with 0 findings by the Technical College System of Georgia, who is our state oversight. So certainly wanted to highlight one of the mayor's pillars of ethical and responsible.
Commissioner, you might want to push the mic a little further away.
Is that better? Can you still hear me okay? Okay. All right, so what are we going to do next year? What's going to be new and improved? The department will increase the community access points by 100% in identified areas of need and increase career seekers and employer services through the WorkSource Atlanta program, amongst others, by 50% year over year through additional resources and partnership. The department will increase employer connection and engagement by 100% in fiscal year 2025, with the goal of 1,000 new placements into employment by the end of July, or by the end of next fiscal year. The department will educate and train 10 local employers and as many as 150 employees on labor topics such as wage theft, worker misclassification, ADA compliance, and others. And the department will increase funding through strategic philanthropic partnerships and resource development to address apprenticeships and other on-the-job training programs, which includes providing direct apprenticeship support for 50 to 100 first-year apprenticeships in skilled trades. The department will also create stronger and new relationships with our federal partners to increase services and access points for career seekers and employers. So essentially what that means is there's about 15 core partners in the federal legislation, the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act, and we intend to make sure that we strengthen partnerships with everybody to provide more services to the people and residents of Atlanta. And the department will assist internal city departments in talent search and identification, linking federal resources and signature programs. We've already started working with Commissioner Cutler in Parks and Rec, helping him fill some of his hard-to-fill roles. So just a couple of slideshows in regards to what we've done with SYEP, some of our recruitment events, the Walmart hiring event, and services to participants at the Melody. So if you look at our budget, if you look at our budget trend year over year, last year we requested $500,000 from general revenue. This year we are requesting $1 million, which is 100% variance. And we'll get into the next couple of slides, which talk about increases in headcount. So we've increased that so far, and we have a couple more hires that are going to go under general revenue as well. And then on the next page, we have a more detailed budget where it breaks down by cost center between salaries, benefits on the personnel side, and then other services on the bottom of it, whether it is other financing uses. You see a fairly big number there of $200,000. That is for direct training of participants. Again, as many as 50 to 100 participants will be trained through the mayor's signature programs through general revenue. So I wanted to make sure that we pointed that out as well. This is not just funding that's going to go to build the department, and it is going to go to participants to receive training and employment services as well. Well, I blew through that one, didn't I? So happy to answer any questions council members may have. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you. I do have a few questions. So what activities that are now under your roof, some are new, but I imagine several have migrated from other departments. Could you talk about what you've inherited or what's kind of come in through the door from maybe that might have been HR or some other department?
So not much from interdepartmentally within the city of Atlanta. The biggest transition that was made was the WorkSource Atlanta Board of Directors and the Federal Workforce Development Programs were a standalone entity. And those have been since incorporated into the Atlanta Department of Labor and Employment Services. That's the by and large the biggest one. What we're going to do with the general revenue from the Office of the Mayor is really to build out the labor education and awareness and signature programs. So I would also say summer youth employment was something that kind of existed in the mayor's office and is now moving over to the Department of Labor and Employment Services as well to manage and run that program. So I'd say those two are the largest ones. Everything else is being built as we speak.
And then as regards your org chart,
yes,
I assume you are in the process of filling these out?
Correct. Most are filled. We've got, Dr. Walker, you may be able to, 32 FTEs. Thank you.
All right. To whom does your office report over in the executive branch?
The Chief of Staff.
Staff. How do you anticipate your budget needs, as you get more fully established over the next couple of years?
That's a great question. So it really depends. A lot of it depends on a significant portion of our department is funded through federal resources through the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So one of the, if you remember last year, the Chief of Staff did a really good job in showing the diminished returns of programs like the Workforce Innovation and Opportunity Act. So those allocations continue to decrease year over year, especially in a city of Atlanta that from a standpoint across the country is competitive in terms of unemployment rate, poverty, things of the like that all make up this formula where how the feds send money down to local areas like the city of Atlanta. So part of this department was to provide additional resources because just because the allocation is going down doesn't mean that services still need to be provided, and there's still a lot of help that some of our residents need, particularly those with barriers to employment, enter the labor force. So the ability for the mayor to set aside some general revenue to assist in that is important. So it's really kind of a dance between what we're going to receive from the federal side and what we're going to is kind of what we're going to look going forward from the mayor's office. And the other thing I would add is that it's my job to really go leverage our philanthropic partners, our private sector, to become not just program partners, but financial partners as well.
Where are you physically located?
We are located at 818 Pollard.
And what council committee do you report to or have a relationship with?
CDHS, sir.
CD, okay, that's what I figured. My colleagues have nothing else. You're never going to get off this easy again.
I understood.
I promise you that. Well, good luck.
Thank you.
And we'll look forward to working with you. And y'all can get back to work. I will say to our tens of viewers that we will return tomorrow at 9:30 here in these chambers for another full scintillating day of departmental budget briefings, beginning with ATL DOT, followed by municipal court, and then after our lunch break, it'll be aviation, solicitor, and we'll wrap up with the defender's office. And we will see you tomorrow.
Very much.
Thank you.